Well, there we go. So we're on.
We're back.
So how are you doing, Johnny and Mr. Matt?
I'm good, man.
I am okay. Thanks for having me.
Where's
Hold
it?
on,
He's slacking.
Hold on, let me just sort something out here because I think we've got echo going for some reason. Just 1 second, boys. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear
All
you.
right. Oh, I can hear an echo. I don't know why. Oh, man, it's so... Hold on a minute. Let me turn this off.
Technical difficulty.
Can I hear... I can hear myself twice. I don't know why. Right, so welcome, Johnny and Mr. Matt. I don't have Mr. Bodgit and Leggit here yet. I don't know why. Oh, so we got Mr. Gibby on the chat, Mr. Roberto Mendonca. All right, so Leon is asking for the link. Let's see if I can share the link here. Share link, invite, copy the link. Copy the link. All right, he's very organized, isn't he?
How can you see who's on? Can only you see that? Or
I do have something on the side. You should have something on the screen, I reckon. Mr. Leon, I'm pasting the link in the chat.
Oh, I can see it now.
Yeah, can you see the comments?
Yeah. Hey.
All right, okay. How's it going, Mr. Ian?
Is he working on airplanes?
There he is.
Why have I got no camera?
I don't know, because you have a rubbish camera, maybe.
Oh, this. Hold on.
Disconnected. Oh, man, I don't know. Let me just 1 second, but let me try to do something here because I can hear everything twice. I don't know why. It's very strange. Let's see if I can do something very quickly. Twice, I don't know why. It's very strange. Let's see if I can do something very quickly. Twice, I don't know why. It's very strange. Let's see if I can do something very quickly. Twice, I don't know why. It's very strange.
I think Leon's messing with you.
Leon keeps coming on and off again. Oh,
Nah.
there he is.
He can stop.
Finally. Oh, how's it going, Mix?
Wow.
Mix Noah's in. How are you doing?
The big boys are in. How is everybody doing?
Are you
Leon.
okay? Oh man, I'm gonna have to turn this thing off.
I can hear everything twice too.
Can you hear everything twice as well?
Hold on. Can I pause?
I believe some of you guys got something with your sound is back playing or something.
You have to mute the YouTube stream side of things, and then it's all right.
Ah, it's me then. It's me.
Yeah, it's always you.
It was me. Sorry. I couldn't work out what's going on. Oh, I can hear everything twice. Jesus. There you go. That's better. I can talk now.
I'm sorry, I had to put some rags on. Look, I've only got some. I'm wearing some rags at the minute, so
I tell you what, that's a beautiful t-shirt. You know.
I do apologize about my wear.
Oh, let's have a look at the chat here, Mr. Mix. Hi, the chat. Yeah, you need to shut down the YouTube side. Oh, there we go. He was giving me a tip there. I just realized that, Mix. Well, I've got a Mark 1 Escort t-shirt. Look at that. How
Proper
beautiful. How beautiful. I love that. Yeah, so finally managed. So there we go. Nice.
That's on here. How you doing, guys?
Is that Leon's car you got on there, Igor?
No, it's not.
No? You have a Mark 1, right, Leon?
I do, yeah, I do. I have an ABO Mark 1.
When are we going to see it sideways on the rally?
There's videos on YouTube of it sideways, but I have to on a track.
Okay.
And there's videos of me doing donuts and all sorts of stuff on there as well. But I have to get it. I have to put the wiring loom back and get it back on a proper stage. I will be filming it soon, hopefully next year now, because of all this crap that's happened.
Yeah.
Well, this Mark 1 is a guy probably lives a mile from me. He made some t-shirt. He's got like an awesome car. His father's got another one as well. And I ended up buying because it's lovely t-shirt. And I like the old cars, you know. I love the old bangers.
Yeah.
Less of the banger.
You what?
I said less of the banger. Mark 1s are not bangers. They're proper.
I know, but you know what I mean. I like the older cars rather than the newer cars, you know.
That's just your age.
Well, my age is showing there, you know. But anyway, so we've got Joni, we've got Matt. So Joni is South Carolina, Joni?
South Crackalacken, Redneck City.
Yeah. But originally from Ireland? Or Northern Ireland?
Yeah, not too far from Dave Sturrow. I'm a Belfast lad.
All right, cool. So how long have you been in USA then?
About 20 years. So
Wow.
I lived in Belfast for 22 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. How about Matt?
I'm in Leven in Fife, so not too far away from you. I did live in America for a couple of years though, but I've been here for 40 years.
Did you enjoy your time there? Did you work as a mechanic you were saying earlier?
Yeah, I was working as a mechanic. I was a mechanic on a golf course though. It was easier to get a visa for that, so I did 2 years, and when it ran out, I just came back.
So what were you fixing there in the golf course?
I was like, you know, the grass cutters that you sit on and it cuts, so the other things, basically all the stuff that you use in, you know, around the golf course. and some of the trucks that they use as well, like like a Dodge Ram and stuff like this, pickups. So yeah,
Cool.
most of it was the grass cutting stuff, though.
Cool. And obviously, Mr. Leon, probably everybody knows Mr. Leon in the chat. He's in Ireland.
You make me blush.
Yeah, why?
No. It takes a lot to make me blush.
So originally from
Lincoln. From Lincoln, the UK.
And you've been in Ireland since you're 11 years old, isn't it?
11, yeah, about 11 or 12.
So basically, you've been in Ireland for about, what, 45 years? Anyway, so I'm in Dorset, Bournemouth, but obviously I'm originally from Brazil. And I've been down here for almost 17 years. From São Paulo, Brazil, down to Bournemouth.
How was the lorry ride into the UK?
It was actually quite comfortable. It just took a little bit too long, 50 days on the back of the lorry is not easy,
At least you made it.
Yeah, I made it all right, just about.
Igor's still working on his visa.
Still working. Yeah, exactly. No, I did have a chat. A chat with Auntie Liz, and she gave me a good visa. She gave me one of those red for life visa,
Oh no.
By the way, how the week? How's your week this week? My week has started really well. I fixed a Vauxhall Astra accelerator pedal issue, and the owner of the car brought me a accelerator pedal to fix the car because it was diagnosed for somebody else. It ended up being ECU that lives underneath the wheel arch. Had some greeny crusts in there. So I don't know if you came across this problem. It's a really common problem, Leon, of Vauxhall's Astras, where you have like a fuse box. It comes apart like in two pieces. And I opened that up because obviously you dealt with that before. I opened that up, super clean, absolute pristine, inside the fuse box. I thought, oh God, what's next, And then I went to the ECU that lives underneath the wheel arch. It didn't have any cover at all. Start pulling all the connectors from the ECU, and I could see the green crushes there. Cleaned it and put it back in. Everything works. But my end of the week was terrible. I was working on, as you know, I think I told you, Leon, I was working on a Renault Megane 1.9, 2008 1.9. Took the gearbox out. And then I realized I should have removed the subframe, right? So I removed the subframe, fitted another flywheel and clutch disc, pressure plate and all that, and the gearbox wouldn't go in. It wouldn't go in at all. And I think, I still can't work out why, but I took everything out, aligned the disc, the clutch disc again, made sure all the measurements, because what I fitted originally has a dual mass flywheel, and I fitted a solid mass flywheel, and I thought, ooh, is this kit slightly bigger, and this gearbox doesn't want to go in, because the bottom of the gearbox actually kind of like went flush, but the top wouldn't close in. I didn't have anything at the top blocking the gearbox to go flat with a block, and I ended up like doing the whole thing again, and then aligned the clutch disc again, everything, held the gearbox, went straight in. I was like, oh man, but it took me like an extra 4.5 hours just to work out and measure everything, because I still don't know what went wrong, to be honest with you. And after measuring everything, there's enough space, there's enough room here. I don't know why this thing is just not going flush. It doesn't want to, go flush with the block.
Well, there's only three reasons really. Either the clutch wasn't centered, either you didn't have the gearbox dead level, or you didn't have the splines correct. That's all it can really be.
Yeah, I mean, because the bottom bear went flat, I think maybe when I was, because obviously I'm doing a driveway, right? So I'm holding the thing over my chest, and because I find I don't have like a gearbox jack, but I find it easier to do it just by hand, just lifting the whole thing myself. I think you have more control, because when you have on a jack and you align it, when you push over to meet the block, things it wants to fall, So I find it easy to hold it myself. And yeah, I mean, I think it was just going wonky a little bit. Maybe it wasn't level enough to go in properly.
Well, if you had it flat at the bottom, but there was a gap at the top, it definitely wasn't level, if you think about it.
Yeah. And this 1.9 engines does have like some cables at the top, which was in a way, first of all, but I went up there, removed everything, and made sure it wasn't there anymore. But anyway, it was a nightmare, and I was so frustrated. It took me another 4.5 hours to take everything out, measure everything. I had a couple of friends around help me out, which is one of them is in the chat here, Roberto Mendonça. He was here helping me out, and oh man, it's frustrating. But hi, the funeral director. I just saw. I'm not paying too much attention to the chat there.
You need a lefty, or I don't know how you work on the grind like that.
No option, mate. At the moment, no option at the moment.
GoFundMe for Igor's left.
Yeah, well, I've been looking for a place actually. My wife actually was talking to a friend of hers that got like a garage that she was quite happy to rent. But we'll see what happens. I love to go to a place because the rain, and when you're working on something and all of a sudden you need to go, I have to put everything back, put it in a shed basically. And if you have a place, you can just shut the doors and just carry on the next day, Hello, Mr. Gary, the Scrap It Man. Hello, Mr. Luis Mendonça. The funeral director. When I was young, I used to love to roll in a Cortina gearbox into my belly, then push it up to the engine. Those were the days. Yeah, I mean, they were much lighter as well, isn't it? This 1.9, my God, it was heavy. It was so heavy. But, you do what you got to do. You just try to overcome the problems that you come across, But I try not to do too many clutch jobs here because obvious reason, it is a tough job to do on the ground, and I try to do everything that I do. I try to do on the same day to leave everything tidy and so I don't upset any neighbors or anything like that, But it would change at some point. I'll find something anyway. So
it's everything though. I mean, even if you do find a place, there's a lot more issues that come with a place than sometimes not. The cost, there's more money. So the grass is always green on the other side, but having a place also can cause other, stresses, because then you have to make money to run it, and the rates and electricity, where you're kind of on your driveway, and you've got another job. You're not relying on mechanical work or whatever work you happen to be doing. And so it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? It's
a big commitment. They have to think about it, for sure. And
the other thing that I've very realized very soon, also, or very lately, is when you're in someone else's place, you're always under their control, in the sense of, like, my landlord wanted his place back, so I had to get out. I had no choice, really. So that's another problem. If someone wants their place back or something happens and you have to go, because moving's a pain in the arse as well. So there's all that. So sometimes, it's like you see some people that have got a business and they then, they start employing 5 people to make it bigger, but they're just getting bigger problems. It's not about the money. Then it becomes on other issues, and then that can also be hard to kind of manage as well.
Yeah, But anyway, any interesting story, Johnny or Matt? Anything that happened this week? Matt has been really busy with the videos this week. He put out pretty much a video every day.
Yeah, I've been off work, getting my 80% pay, and people have been asking me to go to other garages to help with the cars. So they haven't had time. I think I was the only garage in the area that closed. So everybody's been calling me and saying, "Can you look at a car?" If it's electrical stuff, it's sooner me go out there rather than waste their own time doing it. So it's been really good for me. The only thing is, on Monday, I'm going back into work. We're opening the garage that I usually work at again. So I may not be able to put out as many videos just now because we don't tend to do that sort of work at the garage that I work at. It's mostly just mechanical stuff. So.
Are they okay with you filming or not?
Oh, yeah, totally okay with it. Yeah.
Mm.
You mean filming in the garage or?
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing a job and you want to film for YouTube, if they allow you to.
Oh, yeah. No, what I try and do is that's why a lot of my videos are short because he's okay with it. My boss, I mean, if I know what's wrong with a car and I can just do it really quick and just tell people what I did rather than show people how I'm thinking as I go through it. So I can't really film like that. I have to wait till I know what it was and just tell everyone what I found and do it really quick that way.
Okay, yeah. It must be tricky when it obviously, you know, is your job, isn't it? So you can't do things to affect your work and get people upset as well. You know, filming. You have to, at the end of the day, have to get the job done, isn't it? That's the main thing.
That's right, yeah. So he's okay with it. He thinks it's a good thing to film stuff. He's actually even thinking of doing it himself after seeing me doing it. So he may do your videos too.
Cool. How about you, Mr. Johnny?
Well, so you guys know I don't do this full time anymore. You know, so for me, it's just weekend stuff. But I did have a Jeep in this week, and the guy had got on the internet and he had tossed the parts down at it. And all it was his kid had slammed it into the automatic. He had slammed it into park and he had broken it's a cable, not electronic shifter, and the cable was through a bush and he knocked the automatic transmission was just flopping around. But there's a light on the dash. It had like little red circles with a line in it. He Googled it and said, "Oh, it needs a throttle body." So for some reason, he put a throttle body on it. And of course, it wouldn't start. That was the complaint, right? Crank no start. So then he put an ignition switch in it, and still no good.
Oh,
then he look at my car. Okay, so I got in it, and the Prindle was in D. I'm like, and the lever was in park. So I'm like,
yeah.
Go through the gears, nothing. It's just sitting in drive. I'm like, dude, it's stuck in drive, and you could feel the
sloppiness.
It just up and down. I'm like, I told him, I said, "You owe me a case of beer for the 4-second diagnosis."
Yeah, so Johnny's been working on cars for a long time. You have a lot of experience, isn't it?
Yeah, long time.
What did you do a lot of body work today? Is what you did in the past, or did you do more mechanics?
I started mechanical. I'm officially trained by Reynolds. I'm a Reynolds technician. That's what I grew up doing. But then I did some body stuff, and then I just quit and got into the IT stuff. So I'm a software developer. I write computer programs for EBS. So I kind of got out of the car world for the last like 20 years.
Well, Leon, as Leon said, that was probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Yes. I can't remember who said it this week. He said, "Don't get into cars." I know it was. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Eric Cole who was telling his son, "Yeah, don't be a mechanic. Be a police officer or something."
I mean, growing up, I used to rebuild Reynolds Clios, the Williams 2 Reynolds Clios, the blue ones with the gold wheels. You guys remember those?
Oh, yeah.
And I shelled a couple of them. I mean, every nut, bolt, screw, loved it. But after so many years, I started to hate it. Like, I started to hate working on cars. So I said, I got to get out of it. I got to switch paths.
But today, you still do it today.
I love it again. because it's not. I'm not reliant on it, so it's my hobby.
It's probably one of
people don't really, you know, the money you need to fix modern cars, the stuff you need to know it's unreal, and people don't really appreciate that. You know, they just think, you know, you're a grease monkey. You don't really know what you're doing. You plug a computer in, it tells you what's wrong. It's easy. And the money that goes into it, and you don't really get like the recognition, let's say like a doctor would, you know, oh yeah, he saved my life, he did this, but we're saving people's life every day if you think about it, because if we do something wrong on someone's car, we could kill them. But you never get the recognition for it being a mechanic, and you're known as like a grease monkey, and you're kind of on the bottom tier of like society type thing, and that's what frustrates me. And then having to deal with public, you know, the members of public can be difficult to deal with.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. There's some kind of jobs out there that makes the world go, you know, and mechanics, you know, either cars, trucks, airplanes. It's definitely one of those jobs, you know. Without having the mechanics doing the work, things comes to a halt, you know.
Well, you think about it, you know, I mean, you could say that about anyone's job. You know, if it wasn't for them, the world wouldn't run, which is true. But if it wasn't for mechanics, nobody would ever get anything, because planes, trains, lorries, you name it, everything's delivered by something with an engine in. And if it wasn't for, you know, mechanics, then nothing would ever get delivered.
But if it wasn't for Johnny doing his computer work, we wouldn't have this technology, you see.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
We wouldn't be doing this now.
My software development's not helping anybody.
All right, okay.
Other than private equity firms.
Oh.
Make billions of dollars.
Oh, really? What is it for business? What big companies?
It's massive. It's like a
Let me go and get some headphones.
$1 billion company. I think we got like 30,000 employees or something like that. So,
wow.
I'm a drop in the ocean.
Wow. How long have you been working for them?
Like 7 years, this one?
7 years. Is it IBM, is it?
No.
Oh, no, okay. No, because I don't know why I thought it was IBM.
IBM's way bigger than that.
Yeah. Because we used to have a big IBM very close to here in Dorset, and I picked up quite a few stuff from that the local company here in the last year, and they all being sacked. You know, they all. I think they finished here. I don't know if IBM is doing really badly or not, or they, you know, or they sold the company. I don't know, but they all pretty much lost their jobs down here.
Yeah, it's cyclical like that. That's kind of how IT world is.
Yeah, and the people that I picked up, they were quite happy because I got, you know, they were probably in their 50s and they got, you know, big money to, you know, to go away. So they were quite happy about that. Yeah. But anyway, let's have a look at this chat.
How are you guys?
You're not about to retire.
No, I'm looking forward to retirement.
Oh yeah.
Forced retirement.
That would be. I mean, it depends. If they pay good money, why not? You know, you retire 50 and enjoy your life, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
But anyway, let's have a look at this chat here. There's a message that I put on the screen here, Johnny. Can you see that? It's from the Gibby.
Oh, I see it. See how I spoiled you with your shop, Johnny. Hey, I've worked hard for my shop.
We were talking about me working on the floor here, so he put that message up. Yeah. We got Dave Stowe, an Englishman, Irishman, a Scottishman, into a live stream, and he got a Brazilian.
Oh.
Well, that's the idea, because obviously this
Leon's
technology.
had a Brazilian for a long time.
You are?
Leon's had a Brazilian for a long time.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I got to get mine done.
Mate, I had the third head car today. Yeah. And it's just number 2 and whoop. I think I'm gonna save my £14. I'm just gonna carry on like this now. But anyway,
can everyone hear me okay with the headphones on?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
How are you guys finding like YouTube in general, like, you know, the community, the comments? How are you actually finding, you know, YouTube as a whole?
I'm enjoying. You know, it's something that I enjoy making videos. I was working on cars, you know, obviously before watching YouTube, and I thought to myself, let's try to record a video one day. So I did a really, I think 2 or 3 minutes clip, if that, of my first video, and I just tried to, you know, been watching all of you guys for a long time, and I thought, why not try, you know? But I have to say, it can be tough if you put pressure on yourself. You know, I do everything for fun, you know, because I enjoy doing it, and I think that's the way to go. There's a lot of people, they stress about YouTube and takes things too serious, and I try to be the best I can, to be honest. You know, what I think is best. You know, obviously everyone's got different tastes, and I'll try to be a little bit different. But what happened to Johnny? Johnny gone?
Must have had a bad connection or something.
Yeah, and you know, but I try. I don't stress about it. I just have fun. I learn a hell of a lot with everybody. You know, there's a fantastic community out there. Dave still, you know, a ton of knowledge and experience. Oh, he's back.
Hey, sorry.
Hello. Yeah, your microphone cut out a few times before. I thought, yeah, the connection is not that great. But anyway, yeah. Sorry.
It's my work. I think it's the work computer I have. They got all the security on it. They don't allow a lot of stuff. So.
All right. Okay.
I switched to the phone. The dog and bone.
That's the best. So anyway, yeah, there's you know, Mr. Gibby. They always putting stuff out there. Ian, Dave Stowe, got you know, the Simple Diagnostic here. Who else is here? You know, there's so many avenues that you can learn stuff nowadays. I think it's fantastic to have this tool and this community to, you know, to get some advice and to get some help. You got Corey here in America, you know, or he was here. Yeah.
What do you guys think about? Because there's some people out there who say that, you know, we shouldn't share certain information on YouTube, and, you know, it should be kept in for certain certain areas. How do you guys feel about that? Because personally, I mean, you know, showing people stuff and, you know, showing, you know, tips and tricks and stuff like that. That's what's brilliant about YouTube. But there is certain people out there who actually don't like that. What do you think about that?
Well, somebody was saying that to me about if you do videos, you're not gonna get people to do their own car, so then they're not gonna come to you. You won't make any money. But I think it's okay to show them, because a lot of people don't have all the gear to do it anyway. So if they see somebody that looks like they can do the job, they'd probably sooner ask you, because you do the videos and we've seen that you can do the job, and it's not worth them buying all the stuff to do it. So I think even though you're showing people how to do it, it's a good thing, because not everybody's got the gear to do it. I don't know.
I agree.
But do you want to say anything about that, Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally fine with it, as long as somebody doesn't try and copy a video, do something wrong, especially with like brakes, and then they get in their car and they hurt themselves. You know, I've done some brake videos, and I always say, make sure you pump the pedal, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. You know, the worst fear I have is somebody does it, forgets to pump the pedal, gets in their car, and the car shoots through a wall. You know, then it's like.
But don't you think Darwin has a good saying for that?
I don't know.
Well,
I always joke safety last and safety third, and I even have a shirt that says safety third on it. But really, safety should be, you know, you got to be careful if you're doing something, especially if you don't know what you're doing.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know if a lot of people watching YouTube realize, you know, when you're working on cars, you have to be careful. You can get hurt very easily. Very quickly you can get hurt, you know. You know, never mind all the cuts that you get like working on engine bays and all that, that's nothing, but you can get seriously hurt. Now, my opinion about sharing stuff, I believe that's my personal opinion. I believe people that is on the field, I believe they benefit more than the normal viewers, if you like. You know, if you get a normal person trying to do something in their car, it doesn't matter if you have a video or not, they will do it, right? And if the person that watches the video say, oh, you know, this is, it's like Matt said, they're not going to have the tool or they're just going to pay somebody else to do it. I think the videos that puts out helps a lot more mechanics, technicians, whatever, in the field than the normal public, to be honest. That's how my personal opinion, because I see a lot of people that some works that I do, they don't understand, and they are working in a proper garage, you know, day in, day out, and we have a chat or explain things, you know. I don't know everything, you know, I'm a learner, I'm just a baby starting, but you know, some of the stuff that I get done, they don't comprehend, you know. And I believe, that's my personal opinion, I think the people that are on the field benefit more than affecting the trade, if you like, you know. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, it's just there's certain people out there who get more grief than others, and you know, they say things, and at the end of the day, the way I see it is, if you don't do it, someone else will, for a start. Because I mean, there's videos on everything on YouTube, so if you don't do or say something, someone else will, or there's maybe another 1,000 videos on YouTube, so it makes no difference. You know, there's been forums for years, you know, people telling you what to do. Fair enough, maybe not videos, but it's still kind of the same sort of information. So sharing it and showing people, I think, is brilliant, because people also understand then, you know, what you have to do, and they see the job. And let's face it, even if they see an 8-minute video on YouTube, obviously that's taken a lot more than 8 minutes or 10 minutes or half an hour. So, you know, it's still, and yeah, I personally like it. That's why I like when you get the comments, oh, I wouldn't have done that if I didn't see your video, and you know, I saved myself money and blah blah blah. Because then people are going to do it anyway. The people that are going to try, they're going to do it. It makes no difference if you've done a video or not. And at least if you've done a video to maybe show them something, they get a bit more confidence and they do it right.
Yeah. Well, everyone knows how to paint a wall, but not everybody's going to do it. They're going to pay it to be painted. You know, plenty of my friends, they don't want to paint it. They just pay someone to do it. You know, it's simple as that. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it knowing or not, you know. You're going to find out. But anyway, it's one of those things. Anyway, that's Mr. Gibby. Hello, Steve. I left a message here. Afternoon, everyone. Afternoon, Steve. The funeral director, be nice in those computers. You tell you kind of point in the right direction. You get that one. The public respects mechanics a lot more than they are willing to admit. It would cost them if they did. What else? Mr. Soring. Soring, this is the Mercedes videos that I put out recently. Thank you very much, Soring. It was a pleasure to work on your car, mate. It was a pain in the bum, but it was all right.
Just going back to the funerals director's comment there, I just seen it, and like
I didn't quite get that.
It gives you a direction, but I've got a video coming up very soon that there was an error code in the car, but it had absolutely nothing to do with the problem. It was an old code that I was chasing. Nothing to do with the car. When I deleted the codes, it never came back, and the issue was completely and utterly different. So it's not, you know, computers aren't necessarily always the way to go. A lot of the times they do give you red herrings. You know, your map sensor might be your problem, but that could affect 4 or 5 other things, and the car reads them other things rather than the actual sensor that is actually faulty. And that's where just experience comes in, and sometimes, let's face it, a bit of luck.
Yeah, no, just reading fault codes is not always a definite answer. You know, you're gonna have to interpret what that fault is. It might be other things down the line. You know, it definitely gives you a direction to look for things, you know, because obviously the newer cars now, I mean, the technology is unbelievable. You have so many modules, you know. When I was working, I mean, this Mercedes was only 2001 that I was working on. All the relays are modules, you know. You have to, if you don't have the pins out or open the things up, you don't have access to relay very easily. So it's easy if you have the instructions, like, you know, that pin should be ground, that pin should be power, there's a signal, there's a scan line, whatever. But if you don't have that, it's a nightmare, you know. But anyway, Mr. Steve, sharing is good in my eyes. It gives the public a better idea of what actually takes to do the job. True. I do some videos, and sometimes I get the person say, "Blimey, I didn't realize it. You need to do all that," you know. Mr. Gibby, a fraction of the public is still to put. Oh no, we just read that, didn't we? Doing to themselves, even if they're, yeah. No, that's right. Yeah, some people just not gonna do it. They're just gonna pay someone, you know, even if they know what's wrong. All right, so the funeral director, what meant you still need to know what to do with the info. That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's what he meant, Leon. You know, it's not just like scanning the car. You still got to know what to do, you know, to interpret the fault codes and all that. Mr. SY Diagnostic, Mr. Steve, I believe, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I personally think that most of those who are outspoken and against the YouTube videos are hypocrites. I bet they would search how to fix their boiler rather than get a plumber out. It is a subject that it brings a lot of discussion in the community, to be honest, and everyone's got a different view, you know. But you know, I personally, I think that it helps out more technicians and mechanics than the public, to be fair, because at the end of the day, you know, sometimes you get stuck on a job. You got another professional friend to call and say, look, you know, have you? The guy is I don't know, he's a specialist on voxels, you know. I'm having this problem. I'm just running around like a headless chicken. Have you come across this problem? The guy will give you an answer because been working on the car all day, every day, you know, on the same make. So having that network is very important, you know. And I think it definitely affects the public knowing a little bit, but it's not going to affect like to affect a business that much, in my opinion.
Well, know? it's like Steve said. There's a lot of hypocrites. It's not, and it's difficult. I'm not going to get into it too much because it's not my channel. But there's a lot of hypocrites who say one thing and do another thing, and you know, you find that everywhere, but especially on YouTube. And yeah, eventually, like everything, you know. Well, look, we'll get into that on another video. But yeah, I'm just laughing because I'm looking at things now, and it's just kind of.
Well, Mr. Leon's been on YouTube for a long time. You probably know more things than I do, but it's everyone's got different opinions, isn't it? All the time. Let's go to the next one. On the money there, SY, Mr. Steve, we know. Yes, Igor, I think it was about my comments there. Cool. Right. So next subject. Mr. Matt is quiet. I'll let Mr. Matt talk a little bit. Do you want to talk a little bit about your channel, Mr. Matt? Mechanic Matt has... I put all the links in the description for their channels. And Mechanic Matt has just under 700 subscribers, Matt?
I don't know. I've not really been watching that.
You haven't been watching your channel. That's good.
No, it's like it's been getting better. Sometimes somebody will, like Dave Stirl's mentioned me a couple of times, and other people too, and that I always seem to get more after that happens, more subscribers. But my channel, I don't take it too serious. I just film on my phone and edit on the phone using Video Guru, and then it's not a very good phone, so then I have to delete the video to make room for the next one. It's just something I do to show people what I don't know. If I think it was worth showing, I'll just do it. It's probably somebody else may have done a video on it already. At the time I started it, I was looking for another job, and I thought if I do a few videos, I could put a link to the YouTube channel on my resume or the CV, and it might help me get a job. So that was one reason that I did it, you know. And then it's just kind of, I just keep doing it, and some videos don't get many views at all. But that's just the way it is.
No, it is. Do you think those videos, if you come up to a job, you know, job interview, I don't know, if you have opportunity to work somewhere, and do you think videos on YouTube will help you out, like getting a job?
I don't know. Somebody said he took a look at them and he was interested and stuff, so it might do. It was just an idea, but I've got a job now, so I'm not too fussed about that. But it was just at the time, because I watch other people, and I was thinking I can't really show what's probably not been shown, but I just did it anyway, just for the sake of it, in case anybody was interested. So, but then I don't put a lot of effort in, and sometimes I even forget to record part of the video, and you know. Another thing I do is I say one thing but mean something else, like I'll say amps but mean volts or some stuff, and then I have to put
that happens to me all the time.
I put it in writing on the screen whilst and then I think I don't want too much writing covering up my mistakes, because people have to read it instead of watching what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm gonna try and get a little bit better, you know, with practice on this.
I think Johnny has something to say about that. Johnny?
I was just gonna say, I say stuff wrong on almost all of my videos, but the difference is I just don't care. You know, it's like whatever. People figure it out, and somebody on YouTube will always correct you. So let that guy deal with it.
I think most people probably realize, you know. Yeah, he does say, because it's just ordinary people, you know. You know, like a BBC major production that is, you know. Sometimes, yeah.
I also think it makes you more human as well. Like, I get grief all the time. I call nuts bolts, nuts, because I'm thinking 10 steps ahead. I know what I'm doing at the minute, but I'm thinking of the next steps, and I forget that the camera's there and I'm just talking, but I'm thinking 10 steps ahead. And then there's, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, there's always going to be someone out there. Oh, I can't believe you said that. And that's a nut. That's not a bolt. And you're like, it's just real life. Just get over it. You know, it's obvious. But it makes you more human as well, and it makes the videos more believable. Because if it's too staged, if it's too like Hollywood, people don't want that either, because that's not real life, you know. And I leave all my mistakes in. I mean, there's sometimes I've got a spanner in my hand, and I say, right, this is a 17 mil, and I forgot the word spanner. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, spanner, and
I have those problems as well, where I freeze, you know, I can't remember the words, you know. It's like, I know what this is, but I can't remember the bleeding words, you know.
I do it all the time.
If I ever need another job, I'll have to delete my YouTube channel first. There's a lot of naughty words on my channel.
Well, to be honest, I always enjoyed your personality, Johnny. That's one of the things that really strikes about your channel. I think your personality is just spot on. At least to me, you know.
The thing is,
I've tried to clean it up a little bit. Like I've stopped cursing for the most part in my videos, but I don't know why, because I don't monetize my channel, so I really just don't care, you know.
Wait, that's another question. Why do you monetize your channel?
Because I want to be able to walk away from it at any point. If I monetize that channel, I think I'd feel guilty, like if I stopped making videos. So I don't want that. I don't want the YouTube money. I'm good. I just do it for fun.
That's because I know for a long time that you don't monetize your channel, and I was thinking, why? He could give like to a charity or something, you know, or something. At the end of the day, it's your efforts on producing videos, you know. But it's interesting what you said, because I never thought about that, giving you that pressure to to be, you feel forced to make videos and stuff like that.
I thought about making it a charity channel and doing something where any YouTube money could go right to a charity, and every month somebody could pick a charity and all this stuff. But then there's a tax issue there that I would have in the States. So I'd have to take the tax out and I'd have to file it. And it just became a nightmare. So I just said, no, we're not doing that. I'd rather just give my own money to charity. And that's what we do. The wife gives it all away.
Cool, man. Cool.
As regards the thing, what you said before about the YouTube, can it make you, get another job? The way I've always seen it is every job I've always gone to, you can have all the paperwork saying you're a master this, you're a thingy this, you do this, all the paperwork in the world. You always get, in my opinion, or in my experience, you always get like a 2 weeks trial or a month's trial to prove you can do the job. Because you can have all the paperwork in the world, you can be book smart as regards knowing what to do and pass all the exams, written down exams, but to do the practical stuff, you could be terrible. So as regards that, I think the YouTube videos will help you because they can clearly see, oh yeah, look, he can do timing belts. Oh yeah, he can fix this, or he can do wiring. Even though they're not like real life as such because they're still edited and stuff like that, but it gives the person, your future boss, well, actually, yeah, he can work on his own. He can figure that out. He's got this, he's got that, and I think it would help. It's not going to get you a job, but I certainly think it will help. Personally.
Yeah. When it comes to practical work, definitely. It gives you, right, let's have a look into the chat here. We've got Gary Xperia. I'm a tool nut and I love tools. Watching all you guys' videos give me the confidence to have a go and actually justify the purchases of tools. That's a good one because I wanted to talk about tools. That's one of the subjects that, you got to talk about tools, right?
I have a serious problem with tools. Serious problem.
In what way?
Well, I just keep buying them. I see a new thing and I want it, and it's shiny and it costs a fortune, but I just want it. I bought stuff that I've already got because it's shiny and it's slightly better, and it does the same thing, but it's a different color, and I've done it, and it's crazy. I have a serious problem. If I didn't buy so many tools, because people on my channel always say, "Oh, you're using expensive tools." I don't have this. It's just I like tools, I like gadgets, and I just have to buy them. And if I'm spending my own money, what's the problem? But yeah, I think I could have brought a town if I just didn't buy as many tools.
Yeah. Wow, Johnny's got a lot of tools as well.
Oh my God, yeah, lots of tools. But actually, when I left Northern Ireland, I left probably 40 grand's worth of Snap-on tools there. And my brother actually, he runs a shop, his own shop now with most of my tools. There's very few tools I could actually take over with me, So 40,000 pounds. So
Jesus,
what would that be? I don't know. I don't know dollars. I don't know what the rate is. Probably 60 grand dollars. But I just left it, walked away. It's like done with this place.
Matt spent quite a few bobs recently as well, haven't you, Matt?
Yeah, well, I don't usually spend a lot of money on tools. I'll wait and save and read reviews and watch other people do something, or even like I'll try and make my own thing if I need to, if it's just an expensive part. Eventually, though, I found some of the tools I've bought and replaced them with slightly better ones. I guess the cheap ones just didn't work out to do what I wanted them to do. But some of my tools, like, I don't really go for expensive stuff like Snap-on. I used to, when I was working in Florida, I brought the tools back with me. But when over here, it's the cost of buying stuff. I always just look on eBay or Amazon and buy cheap tools. Unless that doesn't do the job, and then I end up having to buy something a bit better. But it's like, if I get money anytime, I've got to save up and think of what do I really need next. Like, I've seen Johnny do a lot of tool reviews, or not so much tool reviews, it was like not a tool review. But I've seen them, and there's so many, I think just about every tool. It's like, yeah, I want to get that. But I can't do it.
I need that one. I need that.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what it's like. I want all the stuff, but I can't get it. So I just wait and prioritize it. And usually, if nothing else goes wrong, like I need another car, or we're going on holiday or something else, when I get the money together, I'll just save up and buy whatever is on my list and try and get it. So yeah, I recently bought a Pico. I had a handset before that, and it was good that I've managed to diagnose a lot of cars with it, but it also had a few problems. And I just thought going for the Pico might just help, because you don't tend to miss parts of information that you want to look to see. And it seems to be the way that a lot of people have gone. So I'm still new to that. I've only used it a few times just to practice. I've not really used it for diagnosing properly yet, although I had a go in an Audi, but I need to get used to that. And there's like more tools that I want to get, because I was thinking of getting the same hotel that I see you using. But it's just money at the time, so I'll just
Oh,
save
the
up.
Mexico.
Yeah, I want to get that one as well, but I just gotta wait. And I bought the launch thinking the launch would do a similar job, but I suppose no one tool's good at everything, so I keep my older ones that are getting out of date.
That's true.
Yeah, so I try and always buy a different brand next time, in case it's gonna be better on cars that the older ones aren't good on, because
Well,
tools are good on different cars.
the hotel regarding cars that we see here in Europe, or UK, I think if you're gonna buy one, it's probably one of the best one. Now, yeah, I do, for what I've seen, I've got a lot of faith on the launch. X431. I'm surprised to hear you saying that, because I thought it was very decent tool.
It is. I mean, it does a lot bi-directional stuff. When I've looked at live data on a few cars over the time that I've had it, and I've not done videos on all of these cars, but sometimes the live data is way off, and it's led me to think there may be something wrong with a car. And
Interesting.
put a bit of time on a job, because there wasn't a fault with it at all, and I put a different tool on, like grab the snap on one, and it's giving me different live data for the same car. And then I've known to ignore all that, and I've wasted a couple of hours looking for something that wasn't even there.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. But the other thing about tools is, if because I know what you mean about expensive tools are expensive, obviously, but a lot of the top brand tools, the good thing about them is you can actually buy them secondhand, so you're still getting the quality but at a lot lower price. There's certain things you can't buy secondhand, but a lot of the top brand tools, there's Facebook pages just for certain branded tools to sell secondhand, which is brilliant, because it means you can maybe save 60-70% on that tool, and then still have that tool for essentially ever. And some of the tools you buy secondhand, some of them the guarantee continues, not on all of them, but some of them do. So if you've got a rep that sells that tool, you can still kind of ask him to fix it or whatever. So yeah, there's a lot. You don't always necessarily have to go brand new tools and stuff like that, but it's when you get into scan tools and stuff like that, that's when you're really getting into a lot of money. And yeah, like you said, there's not one tool that does everything, even no matter how much you spend on it.
I tend to buy tools when I need it, to be honest. Every time I come across it, I should have that tool, and I go and buy it. Or I'll buy some things before, if that comes up, I use here. But most of the time, if I need something, I go and buy it, And I don't generally buy it. I mean, I see the snap-on track here and there, and I try to run away from that. It's very expensive, obviously, And I'm kind of, how can I put this? I would say cheap as well. But I defend the cheap brands because when I immigrated to UK, right? When I immigrated to UK, I missed my tools, and I was basically, I had to clean a lot of toilets and a lot of dishes to buy my first set of tools from Machine Mart, and it cost me, I don't know, it cost me like set of sockets, long sockets, it would cost me like 20 quid, right? So if those guys give me a chance to have something, you know. If I was going to depend on Snap-on, I won't have it. I want to have a set of sockets. I want to be able to do the work that I do, you know, to do the things that I like. So I think at the end of the day, I think that the markets there is that there are markets for everybody, you know, different situations, different, you know.
100%. I mean, I have a lot of cheap tools because sometimes you want to get a socket that you can smash over a bolt, and you don't want to use your expensive ones. So I 100% agree. I remember I did a video ages ago, and I've got a set of Ralston spanners behind me. It's like a 62-piece set. It was €40. I got that over 10 years ago. Them spanners are unbelievable. I have stood on them. I've smashed them with hammers. I put big bars on them. That same snap with Snap-on would be thousands, and yet someone said in the comments,
You wouldn't be able to modify that, would you?
No, I mean, and I wouldn't, if I bought them, I wouldn't be smashing them with hammers, obviously. But these I don't care about, and they never break.
Yeah.
And someone said to me in a comment, "How can you say you're a professional mechanic with a set of Ralston spanners behind you?" And I'm like, well, for a start, I never said I was a professional mechanic. I've never said it.
Who hasn't?
And why not? Why not? What difference does it make? Like,
who hasn't chopped like a span in half to get the job done without, you know?
Exactly.
I've got quite a few. I needed to do not that long ago. I did replaced a brake pipe on a Touran, and I couldn't get any 11 mil on the nuts to undo the nuts because the block was in the way. I just chopped it. It was job done in 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So. You know, you do modified tools sometimes to help you out, and when you come across again, it's there. You know, so if you have tools to sacrifice for next time, why not? You know, but in my case, long time ago, 16, 17 years ago, obviously that's what I could afford. You know, I literally had to work like clean a lot of toilets, man. Put it that way to buy, you know, a set of sockets, right? So it's how it is, man. So every tool has its place, you know, for different people, different situation, you know. And
the other thing is what you can think about as well. If you've got a load of, you know, like say the top end tools, I'm talking like ratchets, spanners, and, you know, sockets, stuff like that, stuff that doesn't go out of date. Because let's face it, if you've got a 17mm socket, it's a 17mm socket. It doesn't matter. If you've got a lot of them tools, you can also think of it this way: when you come to retirement or whatever, or you want to sell them, you've kind of got like a little bank there. You know, you're never going to get what you pay for them. I know that, but there's still a lot of money kind of sitting there that if you needed to sell or when you retired, you've kind of got like a little bit of a nest egg as well. You know, for things not like computers, because obviously they go out of date very quickly, but you know, for hand tools, you've got like a little bank there.
Hand tools, the oldest, it's probably worth more money. Do you want to say something, Johnny?
No, I was just going to say you sounded just like me there. When I moved to the States, I had $4,000 and a suitcase with clothes in it. That was it. I didn't have anything else. I didn't know anybody, and that was 20-something years ago. And just like same as you, right? You cleaning the toilet?
I was 23, man.
Yeah. I'm 42, but yeah, I mean. I hosted it. I was the guy that stood at the door at a bar and brought you to your seat. You know, I mean, you do what you got to do. I had nothing.
Yeah, that was the same situation, man. And that's why I normally, you know, I've got my Halfords Advance, which is if something breaks, I go there and change it now. But it's, you know, I can buy a 100-piece set instead of Snap-on ratchet, you know. So
I still have the crappy Sears set that I first bought when I got to America. You know,
it's a good reminder, isn't it? It's a good reminder. When you look at that, you think,
it is.
Yeah, you know what you had to do. But yeah, it's one of those things, you know. But anyway, let's see the chat here. So we got Mr. Gibby. I don't know if Mr. Gibby's still in the chat. How's the Roadster project going, Johnny? You finished that, didn't you?
The Roadster's finished, so yeah. That's how I fund my tools. You know, I buy damaged cars from the insurance companies and build them and sell them. You know. Yeah, Copart. So that's the first car I ever bought that I have finished completely, and I still don't have the paperwork for it. Apparently, the DMV in North Carolina had a COVID outbreak, so they shut it down, and they're just now processing titles from March, like this week. Now, I bought that car in April, so hopefully I'll have the title soon. But then I got to make an appointment to get a title in my name, which is another 2 weeks. So it's sitting there it's going to be for still once I get the paperwork, and that's about a 10 grand profit car. So I hope my goal is to buy that Altel that Matt was just talking about when I sell that Mazda.
Another 2.
Yeah, I've been wanting that Maxi as well.
Yeah, I recently registered with Copart. I'm gonna have a go because I normally go to my local auction. But I thought, you know what?
Let me give you one bit of advice with the Copart. Before you buy something, take the time to go inspect it, because there's a lot of cars that get slapped back on that auction that are really damaged and you can't see it. Go look at it.
It's best to go and give a
they doctored
the day before or something. Yeah. I'm gonna try to do that because my I think the closest one that I have is about an hour and 20 minutes away, so it's not that bad. I could go there and stay in a B&B for the day, and then if I'm gonna buy something,
you definitely you definitely need to inspect them, because I know people that essentially buy practically brand new cars that have been crashed. They leave them crashed, but they make them look better. So the thing is, one comes to mind. I think it was. I can't remember. I think it's a Mercedes. They've got like explosive hinges on it, on the bonnet or something. And
Matt was doing one of those cars recently. Matt was doing.
They are ridiculous money, and I know someone who bolted them together, put the bonnet down, and on the pictures it looks perfect. So you then think, oh, okay, well that's going to save me a couple of grand because them hinges are fine, or it's just the front end damage, or it's just this. You then buy it, lift it up, and then oh no, and
probably so have to get a module or something.
So you're thinking, right, I only have to spend, let's say, 5 grand on the car to fix it, and I can make 6 grand, but there's another 3 grand that you haven't seen. So do have to be careful. But I tend to find that's only with like newer cars, like 17, 18 and 19 cars. If you go back, say, 6, 7 years old, they don't tend to do it with slightly older cars because there's no point.
I wouldn't buy that new. I only would buy that new if it was a flooded one, because they're just too cheap, but so much risk, I'll never buy a flooded car anyway.
That black BMW that I bought is a flood car.
Was it?
Yeah. They classed it as a flood car because the guy that owned it drove it. It locked the motor up, right? I had to put an engine in it, but they classed it as a flood car because he drove it for enough water where it seized the engine.
The risk is bigger when you buy a flooded car, right?
Well, I went and inspected that one, and there was no water damage or intrusion. They just called it a flood car. I think that's why I got it so cheap.
Yeah. I mean, flooded cars, they go for nothing. You get like a brand new car here for 1,500 quid. It's nothing.
I think it depends, because if you get a flooded car, you tend to get an honest car. And what I mean by that is no one's really done anything to try and disguise anything. And
the bodywork is generally very good as well.
Yeah, if you know what you're getting into, and you kind of know what could be damaged. And there's a lot that can be saved with a flooded car. People don't realize it's not water that does damage. Water doesn't damage anything electrical, and people think, well, that's not true. It is. If you could get pure water, which is impossible to get, pure water doesn't damage. It's the minerals left behind the water that does the damage. And a lot of that stuff, not all the time, if it's been in a flood quite quickly, and I'm talking, let's say, a couple of weeks or a couple of months, you can clean a lot of them parts and get away with it. Now, if it's been in there and it's been sat for 6 months or a year, then kind of forget about it. But water doesn't do any damage to anything electrical. I know that sounds crazy. It's the minerals in the water. Or if it's a flood car, let's say, and that water's gone through other things and got contaminated with other things as well, that doesn't help.
Or seawater as well. Seawater and river water is a big difference.
Yeah. Oh, a huge difference. But that's why I'm saying pure water, if there was such a thing as pure water, doesn't do any damage.
Yeah. Very little. If it doesn't stay there for too long, it shouldn't affect it too much. If you clean everything, dry everything out. But seawater.
If you was to buy a flood car that was really badly flooded, but you're just using it for the body panels, and then you buy a crash car,
that's fine.
You don't use the electronic parts in the flood car, but you use all the body panels, which can save you a fortune as well. You know.
We know you like Frankenstein stuff, Leon. That's what you do to gearboxes and stuff like that, right?
I was proud of that video. I really was, because I walked into that video not knowing like if it was going to work. I didn't. The research I did as much research as I possibly could do, and when I was researching the gearboxes, they both looked the same. All the pictures I could find. All the castings were the same. So I thought, oh, that's going to be easy. I'll just change a few bits. And I got both of them, and the castings were completely different. And I'm thinking, oh, no, I have to do this now. And I was actually proud of that. Now, that was a lot of work.
The internals was all the same, wasn't it? It's got to work, you know.
The internals, but you see, the casting was different. So when I saw the casting was different, like the bell housing, I didn't know if the bell housing would fit the other one, because if it didn't, I'm screwed. The bolt pattern could be different, and even the thickness of the bell housing could have been different. And lucky enough, the casting part, the bolts were all the same. But then there was a lot of other things that weren't. You know, the splines were different, the gear ratio was slightly different, and now all the information I got, the gear ratio was the same, but it wasn't. So yeah, I was actually really proud of that video. I really enjoyed doing that, because I went into that not knowing that it would work, and it was, you know, because when you do something like that, people they know it's going to work. Like I didn't, and there's a couple of things that I was lucky with, because I had to change some of the input shafts. Well, on one of them, the bearing, the shaft of the bearing was bigger than the other one, so I had to change the bearing inside the casting. But lucky enough, the bearing was the same size, but the internal diameter was different. But again, if that bearing was bigger or smaller, I was screwed. So there was a bit of luck. But it was,
you did well. You did well there. Mr. Matt, we got Dave here saying Mechanic Matt best testing channel on YouTube.
Thanks. That's good. Sometimes people say I overdo it. It's just I've watched people doing videos and they say if you find something wrong with a car and you try and think of another way to prove the same thing is faulty by testing it a different way. So I overdo it. I also think, well, when I put the parts on, I don't want to know that there's something else wrong with it too. So yeah, I kind of go over the top sometimes, but I've got the time to do it because I don't charge for my time, you know, for how many hours I'm on the job. I'm just doing it. I give one fee for diagnosing it. So
hello.
I don't mind spending too much time. At least I'll get the diagnosis right, or as comfortable as can be.
Well, my daughter can say hello. You can hear it there.
That's the thing. I did a DPF video a few videos ago, and a few comments were like, "Oh, you must be charging by the hour. You know, you don't have to do all them tests. I would have known what was wrong with it in 30 seconds." But I proved the fault and I proved the fix. And yes, I did use a lot of tools, but I wasn't guessing. So I find no matter what you do in YouTube, if you test everything, you're going to get grief. If I didn't test it and just, I think it's this, I'm going to get grief. So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. It's just the nature of the beast.
Matt, do you feel like sometimes hard to decide what to leave on a video? Like you did so many tests there, and perhaps you could leave some of the tests out, some tests in. I mean, you have to make a decision sometimes what to leave in. I think sometimes when you made the effort to actually do the test, I think it's a good thing to perhaps leave it in.
Just people have ways of testing. If somebody wanted to see another way of doing it or another thought, it's just if somebody's going to learn something from it, it's a good thing. And that's the whole point. If somebody learns something, so
exactly
that they probably would have thought of, but showing other ideas or other ways of doing it, I don't see it's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's like we said. I think that like this. the people that is going to complain is the one that they're interested in a silver bullet, you know, and they you know, other people that are interested to learn, they're going to appreciate that you did all those tests and showed as well. But
if you think about it, there's no real silver bullets as such, because you could have 10 cars with the same error code and have 10 different problems. So there's no like real kind of silver bullets. That's why you do the tests. So I know what you're saying, but if you actually think about it, there's very, very few silver bullets because there tend to be different problems. Same error code, but different problems.
I believe most of the time you're not going to get that saying, you know, go straight to the point. You know, I think most people will actually appreciate the effort, you know, most of the time. Like, you know, it's such in life, you know, you're always going to have different people, different opinions, different views when they watch it. I put music on my videos, right? Some people don't like that. Some people don't like, you know, you to do something else. And the videos they're never going to be perfect, you know, for everybody.
No, but the series I did on the Skoda, Can You Fix It? It was interesting to do that because I wanted to see how other people think, and to see in other people's approach of that particular problem was brilliant. But what also was interesting with it, I could also tell who they watched on YouTube from their kind of response. You know, because certain people have certain ways of doing things on YouTube, and you know, there's no like wrong or right. But some of the comments, and I thought to myself, oh, you watch that guy because I can tell, because that's kind of the way he does it. And it was really interesting to see people's approach. But what I was also trying to get across on them videos is when we get comments like, oh, my car won't start, what's wrong? Or I've got this fault, can you tell me what's wrong? It's not easy. You can't just, you know, just because you get an error code. And I was trying to explain to people, and it did come across, well, I hope it came across, that I'm showing you a problem with the car and I'm asking you to fix it. But it's very difficult when you're not beside the car. If you can't touch it, if you can't smell it, if you can't, you know, go through the own test yourself, watching a video or a comment, it's very difficult to diagnose a car, and that's what I was trying to get through on that video series. And it was interesting to see people's kind of, you know, response to it. It was interesting, to say the least.
I was going to go through the comments here. Where did I stop? The next one, Mr. Gibby. What's your impressions of the new Pico, Matt? Pico's got Mr. Matt bought the 442.5A.
Yeah, I find I can only really compare it to the Handtech that I used to have. I've had two Handtechs, and like a 1008, and then I got another one that I thought would be quite a bit better than the 1008, but it ended up being just about the same thing. So I can only compare it to a Handtech, and comparing the two, it's so much better. You know, I knew it was going to be a lot better from seeing.
Probably there's a lot to learn, but what's your like first impressions? Did you like it?
Yeah, I find this, because it was like a different screen. I was using Pico 7, and it was easy to find my way through it. You know, navigating my way through it and set up the scope, set everything up. And yeah, definitely, it's very easy to use, and it's got a far better waveform when I'm looking at it. I can see stuff. One thing I can do is zoom in and stuff. You know, if you look, like some people say, like the picket fence, and you see a lot of information and a lot of time, but you can zoom in and see the one bit that you want to see. That's something that I just couldn't do before. So it's definitely going to be more useful to me.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a lot easier to work with the new connections that they have, isn't it? I can't remember the name of it. Smart connection. I can't remember what it.
Yeah, I didn't get them. I just
you didn't get the cables.
Yeah, I've got the old Pico cables. You know, so that I've got like the right colors, but they're not the smart ones. So it's all the old amp clamps and
because the amp clamps, they don't need batteries anymore, which is fantastic, isn't it? Batteries can be a pain.
So I think if I replace anything, I'll just go for the newer ones to go with it. But it was just to buy the thing. I had enough money to buy it, but I didn't have enough to buy the full diagnostic kit. And I already had a lot of stuff that I could have used, so I just went for the scope on its own.
I did the same thing, man. I bought the scope itself, first of all, and then I bought the leads with what's that company called, Leon? Warwick something.
Warwick Test Leads.
Yeah, Warwick Test Lead, which is like 30 miles from me in Southampton. So I did the same thing, you know, just bought bit by bit, you know, and now I got like a full set.
He used to make all the leads for Pico before they moved.
It's exactly the same product, isn't it?
Yeah,
exactly the same product. Do you want to say something, Johnny? Johnny's quiet there.
No.
I'm gonna put the next comment. So interesting topic. I've recently applied for a sideways move with the trade and have mentioned my YouTube channel and application. So Steve applied for a job, and that's when we were talking about having a channel and perhaps tell about, you know, if you're applying for a job, tell them about it so that they can see the work. Next one, the way I see it, the way I see it, there's online representation of you're capable of. Yeah, it's definitely a way of showing people what you're capable of, you know, when it comes to actually doing the job, because knowing theory is one thing, but getting on with the job is another, isn't it? You know. Right. Mr. Ian is here. Evening, guys. Good discussions. So Mr. Ian, he's in Kent. Automotive Solutions. Dave Stowe, I send videos to the customers. They see what has been done and don't go anywhere else. There you go. That's a good strategy. I think people appreciate to see the mechanic and working on that cars. What do you think, Johnny?
Yeah, that's a.
I think it's something that people appreciate. You know, I have my neighbor here. He did oil change a while back with, can't remember what company it was, and he had his dash cam on, and they didn't touch his car.
Oh.
And he's always telling me like, oh, those guys charged me 400 quid, and when I got home, you know.
And they didn't do anything?
He said they didn't do anything. I didn't watch it, but that's what he said to me. I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy, you know.
There's some of them on the YouTube where the technician joyrides the car and stuff.
I can't believe people don't have the car, you know, the courage to do that, you know. It's just not me. Someone brings you the car, you say, oh, I'm going to change the oil filter and everything. You just don't do anything. So, yeah, that's done. That's the key. Woo.
I remember a customer said to me one time, he said, well, it was a new customer. I was servicing his car. He said, well, how do I know you're actually going to service it? And I said, do you have internet? He says, yeah. I said, well, watch a YouTube video on it then. Because, you know, you can't, if you pour oil into a car, unless you're going to drain it, off it and put old oil in, obviously. But I mean, you can't really fake it. You can see the parts you put in. You can see they've done work on it. So I think it can put some people at ease. All right. But then some people though, it depending on what you're doing, because there's a lot of times, especially when you're doing suspension work, you might be twatting something with a hammer. And I've had comments, oh, I can't believe you're hitting it with a hammer. Well, how else are you supposed to do it? Yeah, and people think, well, you shouldn't do that. You're damaging my car. Well, no, I'm not. So I suppose it depends what you're doing to what the customer thinks. Because you know, the normal person isn't expecting you to get a big hammer. And I've often said it in my video, if this doesn't work, I'm getting a bigger hammer. And it can kind of like, I can't believe he's doing that. But it's what you have to do.
No, that's it. Let's go to the. Do you guys? There you go. Automotive Solutions. Do you guys do any training courses? I haven't for a while, but might be look of some online stuff. Thoughts on this? So thoughts on training. Mr. Ian is asking.
Funny, I was actually thinking about this because what happened to me with moving garage and stuff, I'll be releasing a video soon. I'm actually going to be doing courses. I don't know if I'll do them online. What I was going to do is I was going to see if there's any interest around Ireland, because obviously that's where I am. And if there's enough people in a certain area, I'll travel to them and we'll do like you know, either on the Pico or, you know, something like that on it. So I was thinking about doing something like that myself.
Yeah, I think with the new technologies, it's definitely a good thing to do some training. You know, there's a lot of new technology now with the EVs and stuff like that. Even not EVs, you know, it's always good to get involved and learn something. You know, you're always gonna learn something. You know, and personally, this lockdown thing, I've done a lot of the online stuff, but I do plan to get some qualifications very, very soon, because I wanna have a place, and I wanna hopefully have an MOT center. Hopefully, that's the plan. You know, so we're gonna have to do all the qualification stuff. How about you guys?
Yeah, I'm wanting
I'm
to train.
all right.
When I get the chance to train, though, I've been on training courses when I've worked at main dealers, and since then there hasn't been that much. There was a few training courses. There was somebody came over with Snap-on and did one. I went to a few of their courses, but the guy doesn't do it anymore. But I learned a lot from that. But I think it's something I need to do. At the moment, I'm just like watching Scanadana on YouTube, but there are training places near here. There was one I was going to go to, and I actually asked if I could go on the course a couple of years ago. It was to do with inline pressure waveforms, and it was like put on, and I actually seen it on YouTube. But when I phoned to ask if I could go on the course, and I gave them the date, they said there's no such a course happening. So I can get a place, but I don't know what was going on there. But I tried to go on that one. That was over at Lagter. Hopefully, if more training courses come up, though, I'll be able to go on them.
Johnny, you saying something?
Yeah, I similar to Matt. I haven't had automotive training since I worked at a main dealer as well. And that was over 20 years ago, a long time. But the stuff that interests me now is just because of what I do with cars these days is the blind spot monitoring, the lane departure, and that auto braking system. I don't know much about those. I don't know how they work, and the cars I'm buying now that are wrecked, they're starting to have that crap. So I'm gonna be forced to learn it. But yeah, this is my hobby, guys. But yeah, I'll learn it on the fly. I'm not going to pay or invest money to learn or go on training, you know, for myself. But I'm in a different situation than you guys. You know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But
you guys pay for the course and then make a video on YouTube so I can learn it.
Why not? I've definitely I need to get some qualification for sure. I've got qualifications in electronics and mechanics, more like a CNC stuff, which I went to college for, but I never actually got on proper auto mechanic courses, and apart from seminars, you know. Anyway, Dave, we're talking about the flood cars, and he put here water is tasteless. Is the minerals that's in it that you taste? So you taste the minerals in the water. Mr. Gibby, auto AC, worth the investment in time, study and tooling. Simply Diagnostics Chief, didn't realize Matt had a channel. See him regularly on the comments and live chats. Subscribed. You got another subscriber there, Mr. Matt.
Thanks.
Right, so we got a question from Radio Hate Fan SW. Quick question, guys. Just bought a 2008 Combo 1.3 running fine. Problem is when I start it up, it's like an alarm sounds for about 3 seconds, then goes off. Any help would be great.
I would say from the sounds of that, it sounds like an oil pressure warning, because he does also say he also says it drives fine and there's no problem. So someone could have wired in a buzzer maybe for the oil pressure.
I was wondering if it's an alarm sound or if it's a noise in the engine.
We said there's a buzzing sound.
Buzzing alarm sounds, yeah. Alarm sounds for about 3 seconds.
You normally get them on heavy machinery like, you know, diggers and tractors, and it's a loud buzz. And once the oil pressure, I wonder I wonder if the
But
oil
combo
light
is a
goes off.
voxel, isn't it?
It
Combo
is,
a voxel.
but someone could have wired it in separately. I wonder if there's I wonder if the oil light goes off at the same time as the buzzing stops.
Vern is driving. Let's go. So Vern is driving fine, no loss of power, etc. Just a buzzing sound when I start it up, driving me nuts. So yeah, it's a buzzing sound when he started up. No showing, not showing any codes, etc. Alarm like the one in the Astra. So it's a buzzing sound when he starts the car. He says the oil light goes out instant.
Any immobilizer on it or any aftermarket alarm?
Or radio? I never had that before. Never had that.
See that he says the oil light goes out instantly. Is that before he starts or after? Because I still think it's someone's wired something in for like an oil pressure switch or something.
Radio. Just gonna say radio. Is this a new car, or did you have the car for a while? Or did you just buy it? Or did you just buy it?
He said he just brought it. Yeah, he just bought it.
I just bought it. Oh yeah, just bought it. All right. Okay. So yeah, I think I go with Leon. You definitely need to look into, to see if there's something wired up wrong there.
Well, the easiest thing to do is just leave the ignition on, let it buzz. Try and find out where the noise is coming from. If it's underneath the dash, have a look. See if it's like a buzzer that's been, you might see like connected to other wires. And if it is, you can always just disconnect it. Because if it's an aftermarket thing being connected to something, then it's not really, you don't need it. If it's driving fine, there's no error codes, there's no issue with it, I would suggest someone's wired something into it. Possibly an oil pressure switch. That's just a guess.
Turn the HVAC off and restart it. See if it does it. I had a Subaru once used to do the same thing, and it was an actuator was going click click click. It kind of sounded like a buzzing noise.
Right.
But like it's a 2008 combo. I doubt it's got air conditioning. It could do though, but I don't know.
Oh, it's got it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just changing my camera here because my camera something went wrong.
I would just leave the ignition on and try and figure out where the noise is coming from, and then look at it and see what it is. And if it is like you can see what a buzzer looks like. It's just normally round with a load of like little holes cut in them. And if you can see it, then looks like it's been wired into something. You can just cut it off.
Okay, so he said
but then it is an Astra. It is an Astra, so it might be good to have the oil pressure light. Or an Opal, should I say? Yeah,
it's hard. I mean, I get questions all the time. It's hard without looking at the vehicle. I mean, when diagnose a car, it's not just looking at it and thinking, "Oh yeah, it's that." There's a little bit of a little bit of research or diagnostics to do. Dave, he put it here. Might be a tracker on the combo. Oh, maybe. I mean, a lot of the Royal Mail, they use the combo as a van, don't they? It could be. If it's red, it might be a Royal Mail one.
Yeah, but normally, not that I've had that much experience with trackers. I had it with a few because you can buy the ones that just plug into the OBD2 now. Very simple. I've never known any of them to buzz.
Mr. Ian,
I'm not saying that maybe some of them do.
Ian and Dave is on a chat. Dave and Ian, would you like to come on the chat? I'm gonna invite you guys. If you guys have a couple minutes, you can press on that link and then you can come on if you want. Anybody that I know here, Dave, Ian, whoever wants to join in, just press on that link and we're allowed to have another couple people on. I know Dave and Ian don't show their faces on their videos, and that's fine. You don't need to show your faces. If you want to keep it private, it's absolutely fine. But yeah, that's a good shot. It could be. Oh, it's
There's
an
a few.
X network rail van. That could be a thing because
Do you know what I reckon it is? I reckon it is a oil pressure switch, because then guys will just keep driving the car and they'll blow up an engine. So I reckon it's a warning for them if there is a buzzing to turn it off to save an engine. Because if them anything X, like X Postal Service, anything like that, they have hundreds of vehicles.
oh, they drive a lot of miles as well.
Yeah, and if they keep blowing engines up, it's going to cost them a fortune. I would safely say it's an oil pressure switch warning buzzer.
Right. Yeah, it could be.
That was put on there to stop the because them guys, if the oil light comes on, they'll just keep driving it and driving it and driving it. I'll put money on it that's what it is. There you go. I've said it.
Suck some oil out of it, see if it buzzes.
Do what, Johnny?
Suck some oil out of it and see if it buzzes.
Yeah.
Sorted.
I put my neck out there and I've just said that's what it is. So let's see if I'm right.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, isn't it? I mean, Dave put it that it could be a truck, being a rail network rail car. It's definitely a car that's been on a fleet somewhere, isn't it?
I've just never known trackers to buzz though. But like I said, I've had dealings with a few trackers and I've never known any of them to buzz, because normally, if you think about it, a lot of trackers are on cars and they don't want you to know, because if you steal a car, they don't want you to know there's a buzz, and if it buzzes, then you're gonna kind of, what the hell's that, and you might rip it out, for example. So
I have to say, I bought an Astra 2011 or 2013. I bought in the auction about an hour and a half from here, and it did come with a tracker. It was a company car. It did beep once when you first started, but it was more like when you start it, it's like obviously the thing is running, right? And you start it, it loses power for obviously cranking, the current goes down and it loses power, and then it starts again when it comes back. And it used to beep once, but not like start buzzing or anything.
Yeah, well, like I said, I haven't had experience with a lot of trackers, just some of them, and the ones that I've seen, they don't buzz, but maybe some of them do. It could be, but I'm still sticking my neck out there and saying it's an oil pressure warning switch.
Well, he put it here. I will stick a pressure switch, oil pressure switch in tomorrow. Those pressure switches, they go wrong very often, but they leak through the cables. They are a nightmare. They leak through. They fail all the time. They leak through the cable. If you got an oil leak by the sensor, just looks. Is it right in the front of the engine? If I'm not mistaken, on the left,
it is
top left.
I've done a video on one, and that's how I knew someone was stealing one of my videos. I did a video on that ages ago, and someone sent me a message, and they said, "I can't hear what you're saying, but what is that thing you're changing?" And I was like, "Well, I always say what I'm changing the video. Else why would I do it? And I said, "Send me the link." And someone had copied the video, but they had put a different soundtrack over, like an old internet.
Right.
They put that over it, and you couldn't hear what I was saying. And I'm like, and they had thousands of views, and the person saw that video. And yeah.
Rachel, he says, "Yep, I was watching it. Great video." No, those things fail all the time. And the new one, I changed one on the Corsa, and I bought direct from Vauxhall Eden, and the new one is superseded. They have like a little mesh. It used to be just a hole, and they put like a little mesh in front of it. So I think it's protecting against something. I don't know, but it's slightly different if you buy original, and I would probably suggest that because they're not very expensive at all. Obviously, a lot cheaper online, Amazon and all that. But I bought the original from Vauxhall, and it's different. They have changed the design, making it better. So it's whatever I want to go with.
Well, he's also said there's a module with 2 batteries in it. It could even be that. It could be that there's a battery warning light on it as well.
Yeah.
For the module,
Yeah. Anyway, boys, an hour and 40 minutes. I've got a little game for us, and then we probably say
Is it a
goodbye.
drinking game?
No, it's not a drinking game. It's a game that I've seen on a Lower Moa community. Some of those guys from the Lower Moa community was here. Mix and Gary was here earlier. And they have been doing this game, which is I picked up 8, right, mechanical vintage tools, right, and I have cut a little bit of it. So you guys have to try to guess basically what it is.
Hold
Right.
on, hold on a second. You're all older than me. You've got an advantage.
I'll tell you what, mate. I didn't know many of these tools at all, you know.
I wasn't around when electricity wasn't around. This is not fair.
Well, you're just about to show your age there, Mr. Leon.
Wait,
Anyway, are you ready?
Wait,
Huh?
we don't know how old Matt is. Matt, how old are you?
44.
Matt's the
44.
oldest.
44.
Well, I had the big 4-0 this year in May. I'm
Yeah.
40. Yeah.
I'm
look
still in
older
my
than-
30s.
Oh.
I'm still in my 30s. I'm closer to 30 than I am to 40. So there you go.
He wishes. Right,
No,
so
it's true.
I'm gonna share my screen here and try
Take
to
the
guess
pawn
what
off
it is.
first. Take the pawn off first.
I don't do that sort of thing. Man. There we go. What do you think that is?
Pliers.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, it isn't.
Well,
Cutters.
Adjustable pliers.
A Johnson rod.
No. Oh, people in the comments as well. If you wanna put in the comments what you think it is.
Is it a pigtail?
Is a vintage mechanics tool.
Half of it's missing. Show me the full picture.
Right, I'm gonna give you. I'll give you another.
So, give me that hammer. That's on there.
I'm gonna give you another view of it because I made 2. So this one might help you a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I've been unfair. I don't know. Maybe it's too hard.
That's tough.
Come
That
on.
is tough for Igor.
that could have been.
Yeah.
How about that one? Oh, Dave Star is on. Hello, Mr. Dave. Oh, Mr. Dave, yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Right. How you doing, Mr. Dave?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. How you doing?
Oh,
Okay.
Hello.
Is that for?
What am I doing?
Is that for clips? Is that for the boot clips? Is it?
The hub cap. The metal caps on the hubs.
No, it's not.
Damn it.
It's a vintage one, huh?
Oh,
Yeah,
rear
I'm not-
shoe spring remover.
What?
Is it for the springs on a set of rear shoes?
No, it's not.
Oh,
Have you seen that one, Dave? I don't know if you guys can see all right. Can you see all right?
No, show me the full picture, then I'll tell you.
Well, I'll show you in a second. Let's see if anyone. Okay, we'll do watching here.
Wisdom
Supposed to
tooth
be this
remover.
arranging. Lots appreciated. No problem, Radio. Oh, hello, Neve. Hello. How you doing? Neve is in the chat.
How you doing?
Wisdom. Hey,
Yeah.
this guy guessed it. Wisdom tooth remover. Yeah, he's got it. No, he didn't. He didn't get it. It looks like a wisdom tooth remover, doesn't it?
you have to have a big
Can you see it?
All right, I give up.
Don't know.
All right.
Fuel pipe pliers or something?
No. It's some kind of pliers, but not for fuel. Mr. Gibby, Mr. Ian, valve spring compressor. No.
Park and brake cable pliers.
Pardon?
For the handbrake cable.
No. No.
Is
So
there
should
any-
you guys give
Oh.
up?
Yeah.
You give up? I'm gonna show you the real one. Let me unshare the screen, otherwise you see the other bits. Hold on.
like I said, it's unfair. I'm not as old as you.
Right.
Old pal.
This is what it is, right? And it's interesting. I don't know. Maybe it's too hard when you don't. I mean, looking at it is hard, to be honest. I've never seen something like it. There we go. And it's a battery terminal pliers. Battery terminal pliers. That's what
I would
says.
have never guessed that.
It just looked like.
See, I was just about to say it before you put the picture up.
Is that so? Is that from the '60s there, Igor?
I don't know what year. I don't know what that is. What year it is? I just looked into Google. I thought vintage tools, and I thought, I'm gonna put it there. Let's have a look. What's
But then you're also relying on the person that put that picture up telling you what that actually is.
Yeah. True. What did you say, Dave?
Uninsulated. Wouldn't be using that for battery terminal.
Yeah.
Far too long, uninsulated.
I mean, classic batteries, they were slightly different as well, weren't they? They were a bit.
You use it on a modern electric car.
Well, Yeah. But anyway, are you ready for the next one? I might give it away here. This one's easier. Are you ready? All right, let me share it again. Share screen. All right, there you go. What is that? What is it?
I don't want to say.
No.
Do you really want me to say?
Well, to be honest with you,
it's Leon in the morning.
I have to say the same tool today is the end of it is kind of similar.
I wonder if I'm looking at the carpet. I'm just trying to figure out what person has that carpet.
Well, don't Google it.
Is it
don't
a brake
Google,
tool?
otherwise you'll find it.
Is it a brake flaring tool?
No, it's not.
Is it rubber or metal?
It's rubber.
Oh, is it for white knight spark plugs?
No. Do you want the second picture? Might be a bit easier. Yeah.
You said this was going to be easier.
Oh, it is easier, man.
Oh, it's easy when you know the answer. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the middle of it, right? This is the middle of it. There we go. You see, all right? It's like brass in the middle.
It's not a hammer, is it, of some sort?
No.
Fuel pressure, something with fuel pressure.
You got it, boy.
Yeah,
you got it.
It used to be.
You got it. Is a fuel pressure? I don't know if it's right. I can't remember now. I think it's fuel pressure or compression gauge. One of the two. It's a compression gauge. Oh my god. I messed it up here, but let me show you again. All right, it's a compression gauge thing. There you go.
Yeah.
Right, but the first picture is a bit deceiving, isn't it? The first one.
Well, it depends. It depends what you're into. I mean, that could still be used as a lot of different things today.
Yeah, it's a compression tester, I guess.
Well, I'm talking. There's other things. There's other compressions that you could use that for.
I know what you mean. Right, let's go. Let's see if you guess this next one. Right, right. Okay. This one is quite cute. This one actually. I try to make a little bit difficult. Maybe it's too difficult. But let me show you. All right, you ready for this one? There you are.
You sure you're not just showing us your sex toy collection?
No, it's not. Behave yourself.
Needs a clean.
Are you going to show us that?
Impact driver, no, radio. Sorry?
I said, are you going to show us that?
I will show
Is
you
that a
what it is,
gauge?
yeah.
Is there a gauge after that piece of wood? Is that a round gauge or what is that?
No, it's not. No.
Oh.
Right, if you guys don't know this one, let me give you the middle of it, because the middle of it, I think you guys gonna get it. Is more obvious. Well, it's not obvious to me because I've never seen the thing, but you guys that have been working on cast for a long time, I've seen it. There you go.
Looks like an old what do you call them things you used to pump a fire with? Gallows things.
Like a
It's got a handle winder, is it?
vacuum?
Pardon?
Is it for creating a vacuum?
No.
Is it a horn?
Horn? No.
Oh, is it for clean? Is there a cable on the end of it and you wind the cable to clean?
It's kind of to clean something.
Oh,
It's
is it a
kind
sprayer?
of.
You
Pardon?
put liquid in it and pump it. You put liquid in it and pump it up?
No. Do you give up?
Colonic irrigation? I don't know.
No. Does anybody in the chat knows what it is? That's what it is. Sorry about the chat. I've been not watching the chat. Sorry. I'm back.
Oh, and the Ev says it looks like something you should show a horse with.
No, it's not. Have you seen it, Matt? Matt's definitely seen it.
No,
Matt's got two of them.
I would have remembered. I don't know.
You definitely got that too in the shed, mate. I know. Hold on, let me show the whole thing, right? All right, let me get. Except if I show you. All right, this is a hand crank rotary valve lapping tool. There you go.
I've got a modern version of that.
It's a lapping tool, valve lapping tool. Have you guys seen this stuff? I've never seen it in my life.
No, I haven't seen that, no.
Never seen it in my life. I thought, wow. It looks, I would, if I had that in a shed, I would probably go fishing with it. You know, it just looks like a fishing reel.
Leon uses a piece of hose and a drill to lap in valves.
Yeah, exactly. So much easier nowadays, isn't it?
Looks more like a pepper grinder.
I've got a version of that.
It does like a pepper grinder. All right, so what do I go for next? Right, this one. Right, this one. This one is awesome. Right, it says Chicago on it. So, America. If you have any American there on the chat, that might. There, can you see it?
Oh, it's a plane.
Pardon?
Is it a plane? A wood plane?
No, it's made out of metal. It's metal.
Oh.
It says Chicago ALL or ELL, something like that.
Illinois.
It's obviously some sort of locking pliers, is it?
It's something to lock, yeah. That is
it
something to lock it.
Is it twist lock pliers or something?
No.
Vice grips?
Right, let's. No. Hand drill, nope. Battery clamp, no. Boy, that is old. Vice grip, no. Air grinder, no. No air grinder. It's difficult, isn't it? I'll give you the second picture, and the second picture is gonna be a lot easier. And you might get this one. I hope you get this one because
you said that about the others.
I know,
Yeah,
I know. Maybe I've done a rubbish job on this, but there you go. That's, you saw that part here where it clicks in place, and then you got this.
Is it like an axle stand or something?
Oh, you're getting really warm, mate. You're getting really warm.
Is it a jack?
It is a jack.
Like
Indeed.
with the Jeep.
Is a jack indeed. Let me put the whole picture now.
Yeah, them Jeep guys get them big tall ones with the lifted Jeep. It looks the same as a.
It's called a screw gear
Yeah.
jack. Screw gear jack.
Yeah.
There you go. That makes more sense now, isn't it? When you look at it like this, obviously.
It looks like half a differential. See the planet and the sun gears there jacking up.
Oh, I don't know. Radio jack. He put jack there. I don't know if he put it before we mentioned that. Did you put it before I told you what it is? Or radio. He got it right. Well done, mate. Yeah, it's a jack. I'd love to have one of these.
Yeah, it does actually look pretty cool.
Yeah, I would love to have that. Right, next one. I've got a couple more. This one, Jesus. This one's nice as well.
Is it Jesus?
Oh my goodness me.
Look away.
Right, share the screen. 1, 2, 3, go. Can you see it? Kind of brass, sort of like handle there.
Is it a pump?
What it looks like.
Like an air pump?
Pardon?
A pump?
It's something kind of pumpy.
Okay, Igor.
Yeah. I think Igor, you're on the wrong site. There's other sites.
No, it's some kind of it's some kind of pumpy, yeah. And I've looking into this vintage stuff, right? A lot of the handles, they use this thing that looks like a valve, a water valve that we have nowadays.
It looks kind of like a tap, doesn't it? Like the
tap
to get outside. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Suction pump, no. Door hinge, no. It's not. Ray just said thanks. That's because I had one in the States. He had a Neve is kind of bumpy.
Neve might know.
Do you want to see the other bit? It might be easier. The next.
You
picture.
said that all the time. The next picture.
Man, I'm hoping you guys get it. You know, you guys get something. Oh, hello.
Hello.
¿Cómo estás? Muy bien.
Bien, bien.
¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? Muy bien, gracias.
Sí. Oh, here he is.
That's all I can say.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Say bye.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Oh, God.
Right. This is the middle bit of the tube.
Oh, is it for grease? The grease gun?
It is a grease gun. Well done, my friend.
Even that looks better than the modern grease guns. It looks nice.
Mr. Nuff's in a house. Hello, Mr. Nuffs.
Can Diagnostics, how you doing?
How you doing, my friend? Let me get the whole picture and then you have a look. I would love to have that as well. So shiny.
Yeah, it looks nice.
You're talking about shiny tools. This one is one of them. You know. Look at that.
It's nice. See,
nice,
do you know? Remember before I was saying I've got a problem with buying tools.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm going to do after this?
What?
I'm going to go.
You're gonna buy some vintage stuff, yeah?
I'm going to go looking for these tools. I want the jack and I want that.
Tell you what, man, I would love to have that as around the shop for sure. 100%.
I haven't shown it, but on my videos, there's in the background, I've got some really old tools, and I've got this engine heater that you literally put kerosene in and you light it like a lamp, and it was designed to put underneath an engine to warm it up before you started it. And I think it's from like the 40s or something.
Right.
So could you imagine putting on a modern car like a big candle underneath it, lighting it, walking away for like 3 hours or whatever, and then before you start the car, it's quite big. It's like that, and it's
Mr.
adjustable wick on it.
Mr. Ray just said Grease gun. I have one. You are welcome to have it. Look at that. I think he's offering you one. You pay the
very nice.
postage. You pay the postage. Get in contact with radio.
I'll pay the postage, no problem.
Why not?
I tell you, before you show the next one, I've got something here. Now, obviously, you're going to see it. You're going to see what it
Right.
is. It's not difficult. But if you don't know, I collect. Some people that know me will. I collect a lot of World War II stuff, and
Right.
I saw this, and it's beautiful. Even though it's a hammer, but just look how it's made. And actually, it could be used as a shrinking hammer, and I'll show you that in a second. But look at this. Look at the handle.
Wow.
It's a hickory handle, right? All handmade.
Wow.
1942. So, but if you look at the end of it, I don't know if the camera's going to show that. You could actually use it for shrinking metal, more or less, because of the crosshatch design. But just as a hammer, how nice is that?
Oh, that's a beautiful piece of kit there, mate.
And it with this bit bulged here, it really is a nice grip, or you can grip it here. For,
Yeah.
it just, but the way they've made it to come in here and they've pinned it together, it's not stuck on the end like they are now. It's actually,
Yeah.
and I mean that's 1942, and it's still here now. I saw it, and I just thought it was really, really nice, so I bought it.
Was that Kabutse, was it?
No, eBay.
eBay. Lovely.
eBay.
Right, so should we do the last guess the tool thing? The last one.
Go for it.
You guys are enjoying this, although you're not guessing anything.
Well, like I said, you guys, you guys have got an advantage over me.
Oh, maybe I made it too hard. Maybe it's too difficult.
Leon, you need a bigger shop.
Was that in the chat? Ah,
Yeah.
Neve said that. Yeah, Leon, you need a bigger shop. He's got a shop, but only got 3 walls.
3.5 walls.
3.5 walls. Yeah,
The
sorry
half
about
is
that.
important.
I
Yeah,
forgot about the
3.5.
half.
Yeah.
Right, let me get the other 2 here. And this is, I actually got 2 different ones because I didn't know which one to put it up here. But I'll give you, oh no, I'm not going to give you that one. This one first. I think this one is slightly newer. And the other one is more vintage, older, Right, so here we go. Here we go. There we go. Can you see that?
Is that for testing spark?
It is.
Boom! Sorted. I'm winning.
Testing now. Testing spark what?
And dwell time, is it?
No,
On a
but
condenser.
testing is spark.
You never said you said I got it right. Too late. I got it right. End
You
up.
kind of did, but there's another word that I want after the spark.
Plug.
Yes, you got it. Should I show the picture now?
What do I get for winning, by the way?
You can have a sticker if you want.
Oh yeah. Does it say like Leon's the best?
No, it says car exposed on it, but it's like it's one of those.
I've got enough rags that says car exposed on it.
It's one of those shiny ones. They change colors. Like, look at that. You can choose this one, and then you can choose this one as well. Look at that. They are. I can't say the word. Iridescent or something like that. They change colors. But let me show you the thing. This is the thing here. All right, to check spark plugs.
So I want one of them as well now.
You want everything.
I know.
Oh, we lost Johnny. All right, Johnny.
I will have to get onto radio. Radio, send me an email.
Can you see that, Johnny? The spark plug.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
All right. Yeah.
It's a twofer.
Yeah, it was that I never used it, but I thought it was interesting thing.
Radio,
Neve-
send me an email. I've just put my email address. I want to show you something to see if you can guess it. Now, it's not a tool from, let's say, a garage, but let's see if you guess. Give me 1 second.
Right. Right, let's see what happens. Sorry, guys, about the comments. I'm failing to look at the comments here. I'm not. This is kind of my. This is let's say a test. Live stream is difficult for me, but I'm gonna try to pay more attention to the chat here. There's a couple people that put voltage tester, Neve, voltage tester. 2 bags of spark plug cleaner tester. So I've got another couple here, but I think we call it a day. Let's see what Leon wants to show us. What did you think about this game? It's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, I had no idea what any of those things were.
Me too. Even looking at the thing, I knew what they were, and so difficult. Have you have any vintage tools, Dave?
A few things, but that's good,
Yeah. Have you seen any of them?
No,
Because
no.
obviously, Dave has got lots of experience and has been on a working on cars for a long time. Have you seen any of them at all?
I have a compression tester, probably like that one you showed there.
Yeah, which is so like brass in the middle, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, well, it's not just as old as that, but it's one of the ones that you hold in while it's being tested. So, clearly don't use that anymore,
All right.
I have a few old type gas pliers. Have you ever heard of any guys? Any heard of gas pliers?
No.
You heard of those, Johnny? No.
No.
They're actually good for getting fuel pipes off. Hoses off. Basically, round pliers with grips in them. Yeah, they're ancient. I've had for years and years. You don't see them now at all, but they're actually
you get really
good,
you get really thin ones now, don't you? Those you get about 3. I mean, Johnny has the pipe ones, but Johnny removes fuel lines and all that. I remember you showing that in one of your videos.
Oh
Johnny.
yeah, the hose clamp pliers. Yeah.
Yeah. The new ones are a little bit different, I think, than the ones that Davy's got. The older
Yeah,
ones.
the new ones that Johnny has, I have them as well, but they're very thin, as you said there.
Very thin, yeah.
But there's really old ones are like they're thick like normal pliers, but they're just round instead of being flat on the ends. They just have a rounded part, so that's all they are really. You can't use them with nuts and bolts because it'll just round them. But they're really old,
Yeah.
Maybe about 40-year-old, I'd say.
Wow.
Maybe more than that.
Right, Leon, do you want to go ahead, my son?
To show him. So we've got a multimeter from 1944.
Wow.
And it still works, no batteries. Oh, sorry, a voltmeter, should I say, right? And it comes in its own little case.
Wow.
Then if you had a little bit more money and you wanted to be a bit posher, you can go on for a full-on multimeter.
Wow.
Look at the size of it.
It's still working.
Yeah, it's still. Well, if you had the batteries, there's a special battery that goes into it. But this is it's what is it? Made by a company called Avon or Avo. But yeah, that was for working on the Lancaster bombers. You needed one of these. But it's just cool to have.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love vintage stuff, man.
And look at the switches. I mean, how cool is this, really? Look at that.
Wow. It's still very positive clicks there.
Yeah.
No messing about.
This is cool as well. See if you can guess what this is.
A bob? It's not a breakout box, is it?
Well, no, not really. It was out of a Lancaster bomber, and it was what you selected here to drop the bombs. So you selected whichever bombs you wanted, and then you press another button and let them all go.
Wow. Where did
So
you find that?
Just like all over, eBay some parts, and went to shows and stuff, on this sort of stuff, and you find it. But it's all got the official army stamps. I've even got, which I'll show you in a second, which I'm really. See, it's hard to say you're proud of it because obviously people died, but I've got an original part of a Lancaster bomber that flew in the Dam Busters raid. It's been because it's got all the official marks on it, and they traced it back to a Lancaster bomber. So it's actually off one of the Lancaster bombers that got shot down over Germany on the official raid, which I really like. But this is what I want you to guess what this is. So it's a box. You have different covers that come up. So if you open it up, obviously had the battery inside there, but as you lift up these covers, you've got a red one, a red cover.
I've seen that before, I think.
And then you've got a green cover. So what do you think that is?
Is that a torch? No.
Kind of.
I thought I've seen that in the old films, like where they use those torches like that. It's a camera.
No, it is kind of a torch, but it's a specific kind of torch. It's not a torch you would use to kind of look where you're going. It's a specific torch. Because
Morse code.
You can see the difference.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Is it for Morse code?
Yeah.
Ah.
And it's for when you're on the battlefield, you don't want a really bright light because obviously people can see you. So then you would put a different filter on it, depending where you are, and you could, talk to people that are not too far away from you, without the enemy seeing you. Do you know?
Radio, he put there lunging lights. It's not lunging lights, is it? No.
No, I have a full set of lights that go in a Lancaster bomber. They're too big to kind of get out.
Radio, he said he got the bomb dropper if he can win a prize. I left my email there, Radio. If anybody, if you're interested in getting one of those stickers, just send me an email and I'll mail. Oh, let me put you. Oops. If you guys want to get one of those stickers. Because my intention was like, if you get it right, I'll give the sticker, So if you're interested, just send me an email with your address and I'll send you some stickers. That's all I've got for you, my friend. Sorry. Oops. Leon, I got a great World War II story for you.
I don't know. Hold on 1 second. I don't know if it's going to show, but this is the part from the engine sump of a Lancaster bomber.
Blimey, you collect some stuff, mate.
Jeez.
And this has been verified as the one. There's numbers you can't quite see there, but it has the right numbers to be the one that got shot down. I have a big certificate with it and everything, proving kind of what it is. But this thing, guess what this is? It's out of a Lancaster bomber as well. It has
alternator.
Nope. This
the motor that opens the bomb doors.
Nope. This thing was so classified. It was the most classified thing. One of the most classified things of the war.
Holding like that, it looks like one of those grinders that you leave on a workbench.
It is the motor of the first ever radar for inside a plane. So this is what drove the radar system.
Wow.
So it was really heavily classified. back in the day. Obviously, now it's not. But
Yeah, when it comes to get rid of that, you're probably going to get a few bobs, you know.
it's nice to look at, though.
It must worth quite a lot. of
I don't
money
know,
for
really.
collectors and stuff.
Yeah, well, this one, you can see why this one was taken out, because this one is actually, it's all broke here. So it's actually cracked. I don't know if the camera's going to show that. But here where my finger is, it's all cracked. So this was actually used and then taken out of service because obviously it had cracked.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. I think I'm going to finish the live stream here. It's been like over 2 hours now.
I just need to say, Radio, yeah, I got your email and I will be responding shortly.
All right, cool. Well, I like to thank everybody. I like to thank the boys and everybody in the chat. I like to thank the wife. And
She says I need to work on my tan. I don't know. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Shows your arm.
his circles run together. Okay.
Huh?
yeah, it looks like Casper, man.
I know, right? Compared to her. Yeah. Glowing in the dark over here.
It's like me and my wife.
Only
You know?
flipped.
Yeah, only the other way around.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, should we finish the live here? Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
So I'd like to thank everybody on the chat. It's been over 2 hours. I mean, it's a good experience for me, to be honest, because it's a challenge to be live. But I think it went quite well. It's quite a good chat. And hopefully we have some more.
Sorted.
All right,
Yeah.
guys.
Thanks
See you, Matt.
everybody.
Thanks,
Thanks everybody that came on the chat there. I can see Radio, Funeral Director, Steve, Ian, both Steve, Neve. I really appreciate all you guys being here. And I'll see you next time.
Sorted. See you later.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.
See you guys.
See ya.